New video of an attack inside of a Georgia prison cell is both shocking and infuriating. The video was recorded in September at a facility in Camden, Georgia. The inmate, Jared Hobbs, was detained for traffic violation and drug possession. 5 sheriff's deputies, as you can see there, can be seen. Just take a look at that. Let that sink in. Incredible. They are repeatedly punching and kicking Hobbs while holding him down. A probation officer testified that Hobbs had punched one deputy in the face and another one in the side of the head. Attorneys are now calling for the 5 guards to be charged. We're picking up our conversation with Todd Smith and Eric Dick. You both join us here in the Factor Uncensored. Eric, when you see that video, what goes through your mind as an officer of the court, as an attorney? You've represented people before.
I've represented people in criminal charges. I'm blown away. But, Mr. Hobbs, you see clearly him getting the beating of his life. And then insult to injury, he gets criminally charged for one of the officers breaking their hand apparently on Mr. Hobbs' head. Mr. Hobbs was wise in one aspect, that he hired a civil rights attorney who appears to have gotten the video, released it. And this is just disturbing, and I don't see how anyone wouldn't say it's disturbing. These officers need to get fired. The investigation shouldn't take very long. It should take a whopping like 30 minutes just looking at the video. And these guys, these officers, they need to be criminally charged.
Yeah. And when you say, Eric, that he was charged for an officer hitting him and breaking his hand,
yes,
that officer breaking his hand, how the hell does that happen?
Well, what happened is I assume the officers didn't think they were caught on video. If you watch the video, you'll see Mr. Hobbs where he does take a swing after when they're giving him the beating of his life. It's clearly in self-defense. He takes a swing and he hits them, and they charge him for giving someone a black eye when it's clear. I don't see how it's clearly self-defense. And then one of the officers breaks a hand apparently on his head. This is just despicable. And
you need to be charged for that. You broke my hand.
Crazy.
When you see something like that, Todd, what goes through your mind?
When will it end? I mean, we've seen this over and over again for years. We had the Black Lives Matter thing. We had George Floyd. We've had all kinds of African Americans being brutalized by police officers, and we get it on tape. You know there's a possibility that you will be on tape doing something like this, and you will face consequences, hopefully. And people still do it. It's just a blatant abuse of power. And that's what a lot of black people talk about when we talk about our relationship with cops. We know it's not all cops, and we know it's not just white cops. It was a black cop that did this. I've had experiences when the white cop was cool and the black cop was acting a fool. And the white cop—
That's a whole segment I want to do in the future,
yeah,
but go ahead.
But and we have these incidents and we have these stories where we're not being protected and we're not being served. The cops are supposed to protect us and serve us. We need protection from them. And that's what the brother was doing. That's what Hobbs was doing. He was protecting himself. And that's what you do when you get beat down. I don't care if it's a cop. I don't care if it's the president of the United States of America. If I'm getting beat, I'm going to defend myself. So why am I criminally charged? And it's just unfortunate. And cops have to get it together. And I have family members, friends, frat brothers that are cops. I'm going to call you out when you're wrong. Black, white, this was totally wrong, and they need to deal with the consequences.
And Eric, I know you're a fair guy. Known you for years, but when you see something like this, do you ever get uncomfortable seeing what we see as black people, blatant racism and abuse right there in front of your face?
I don't see how anybody couldn't be just shocked by this video. It's wrong in any humanistic way. What this shows me is people have a right to utilize a lawyer. And that's what, if you're in this type of situation, hopefully, we hope that it's in video and, contact a civil rights lawyer. I think it's horrible that this happens. It shouldn't ever happen in this world, but apparently it does, and with such frequency that's disgusting. But hopefully it's on video, and hopefully you get a lawyer to sue them, because these guys need to be sued.
And that's what will likely happen civilly. But Todd, what do you think? Let's look at this video again. Put the video back up, guys. And let's take a look at it really quick. If you can put the video back up. And we see that man being brutally beat. What do you think they see? What do you think they're experiencing, Todd, when they attack that guy like that?
I think they see an N-word. I think they see somebody that they don't feel like is their equal. I think they see somebody that's subhuman. And when you look at somebody and you think of them as subhuman, you could treat them like crap. That's where racism and oppression comes from. I have to think that I'm better than you and you're under me. You're somehow beneath me.
And let's follow this. Let's watch. So we're looking at the black guy, the deputy in the back, who is trying to figure out, I guess, what to do. Should he join in? So there he is. But he doesn't stop it.
Yeah, and we need...
But he knows he should not be involved with it.
And the thing is, I know police officers operate like people in the streets. They don't snitch. But even if you don't necessarily participate like the other people, it shouldn't have gotten to the point where we needed a video release. Brother should have spoken out that this was wrong.
When you see that, Eric, take a look at that. The dynamics there.
It's disgusting. I see people beating up. I see officers, people of authority beating up somebody, regardless of race, regardless of sex. That's just wrong.
But Eric, very because of race, I think we're here. I think we're here. Do you deny that?
No, I don't deny that. But what I'm saying, at the bare minimum, officers shouldn't be beating up somebody, period.
Right.
And it makes it worse because of race.
Yeah. There was a case in 2018, Isaiah, I brought this up many times on your show, Zachary DeVille out of Louisiana. He stabbed a police officer in the face. He still got arrested somewhat peacefully, lived to tell his story. That's what black people are talking about. Why is the white guy able to stab a police officer? He was the police chief and live to tell about it. But if I make a sudden move in my car, reaching for my wallet,
bam,
I'm dead.
You're done.
And then if I complain, I'm playing the race card. Well, that's the only card I have to play.
Terrible situation. We want to thank you both, Eric Dick, Todd Smith, for joining us here. Such a tragic situation, one that we talk about every night, and we shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
But that's life.